So do you get any plans for today, guys? Five grand. Yeah. Yeah. Well, good morning, everyone. It is so awesome to see so many young people here. There are some activities in the back if you would like to take advantage of those. And during the break, there's also some more stuff downstairs if you need it. But welcome. We're so glad that you're here. I am Stevie Lane, and I want to personally welcome you to Unity Center of Des Moines. We have a lot going on today. Happy fall. So glad that you're here. And if you've never been to Unity before, just know that we are a diverse community that is committed to living a positive spiritual path. And we honor that each person is on their own unique spiritual journey. And if you didn't notice, if you're here in person, there are some little welcome packets out front. And there's an opportunity in there if you'd like to be added to our email list, find out all that's going on. Also, if you have prayer requests, more to come on that. But without further ado, let's begin with song. The lyrics are going to be up on the screen, and we love it when you join in and sing along. Deeper, deeper into the heart of love. Deeper, deeper into the heart of love. Let it go to the mystery. Let it go to the mystery. Let it go to the mystery. I see love. Deeper, deeper into the heart of love. Deeper, deeper into the heart of love. Let it go to the mystery. Let it go to the mystery. Let it go to the mystery. I see love. Deeper, deeper into the heart of love. Deeper, deeper into the heart of love. Let it go to the mystery. Let it go to the mystery. Let it go to the mystery. I see love. I see love. Thank you so much. Can we have a round of applause for our music team? Susan Kellogg, Deb Jennings with us, and oopsie, I forgot a lyric in the song, but I think we all adapted, so that's good. All right, announcements. The fall flyers are printed October 18th. Right here in the Unity building is going to be the Fall Spirit Seekers Fair. Kathy Love is one of the vendors. She and I did a radio spot on earlier last week. Paul Kellogg got us in the city view. We've got 1,000 half-page flyers to distribute and 100 of the full page. So what we've got is in the community room on that little ledge. If you have coffee shops or stores or anywhere that you know there's a bulletin board, go ahead and take what you can, spread it around. I've even intuitively thought that someone I was passing in the store might like to come and handed them and just said, hey, I got the vibe, you might like this. And they looked at it and they said, you're right. So I will just offer that I've done it. And if you trust your heart and your intuition, you will know who you resonate with and it will go well. So trust your nudges. Let's get people in here. We have some awesome quantum healing things going on and some sound frequency things and all kinds of stuff that we've not had before. So come and invite people, please. Also, you'll notice in the community room, there are 3 sign-up sheets. One for greeters, and the greeter sign-up sheet, please note, is per day. So it's for the month of October. And if you are willing to be greeter 1 or greeter 2 on that day, please put your name down. And if you have any questions, myself or Ann Prudgen can answer those questions, and contact information is on that sheet. We also have a sign up to have your name added to the treat schedule that Elena is working on. And we have a 3rd sign up. You're going to read more about it in the newsletter coming out next week. But there is a prayer class coming up starting October 26th with Judy. Can you raise your hand, Judy? If you have not met Judy, she's a fantastic lady and she can tell you more about her background. And it's a 6-week commitment. So if that's something that's resonating with you, please put your name down because she wants to know how many people to plan for, because she's going to have some handouts and things and wants to come prepared. Today, Vivian, could you raise your hand? The intro to Unity class starts today. It's a 3-week series, today being the first one. And details are in the newsletter. If you didn't get the newsletter in your email, you can go online and click on the newsletter there. But the first class starts today at noon. From noon to 12:30 will be a teaching, and then we'll have at least 30 minutes available for discussion after that. So if that's calling to you, please come. And we're going to give certificates out for new members once you've completed that class. When you want to say, yes, I'm going to be a member of Unity Center of Des Moines, that's coming. And this class is your gateway first step for that process. November 2nd, I want you to just mark that in your day, in your mind. That is going to be the annual meeting where members who are in attendance can vote on certain topics. And we'll be having more information in the newsletter come up about things we want people to weigh in on. But please just mark November 2nd. And that is going to be our next potluck. At the last one last week, it was determined that maybe every month potluck is a little too frequent. So we're gonna just have our next one early November for the annual meeting, also to celebrate the month of Thanksgiving. This afternoon is the fall equinox big pyramid event right here in the sanctuary. If you've never been to a big pyramid event, it's a huge copper pyramid that you can actually get inside. And Laura Jones intuitively sets out a crystal pattern, brings the crystals that want to help with that event. And it's a sound meditation and an opportunity for you to actually sit under the pyramid and set your intentions for the fall equinox. More details are in the newsletter. It's time for celebrations. And our number 1 celebration today is it's Susan Kellogg's birthday. So we're gonna sing happy birthday to Susan with a big smile on her face. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Susan. Happy birthday to you. You sound so great. And thank you for encouraging us to sing, Susan, and bringing that gift of song, making it attainable and just encouraging us to use our voices. What other celebrations are there?
I've got one, Stevie.
Okay, go for it.
Last week I had the best and cheapest tooth cleaning of my life up in Ankeny at DMAC. They have a dental school and it takes a while. It's a little under 3 hours, but you get the student and a real dentist both kind of double teaming you. And if you have any questions about your teeth or dental health, They are thorough and for $35, best tooth cleaning I've ever had in my life, and you're helping a student start a career.
Fantastic. Let's something to celebrate. Clean teeth.
That's, yeah.
And side note, your oral health is connected to all your other body systems, so take care of your teeth. All right. Good. Other celebrations. I'm celebrating that there's people in the back that I've never seen before. So hi. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm gonna celebrate that. And also celebrating the beginning of fall. It's my favorite season, and all the monarchs that I've been seeing, and the caterpillars and all that good stuff. So, all right, special events coming up. Tomorrow evening is number 3 in the video series A Force More Powerful, which is about nonviolent protests and historical looks at ones that have been done over time. That's at 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. here in the sanctuary. Tuesday, September 23rd, is the cacao ceremony and new moon gong meditation with Sounds for the Soul by Deb Jennings. Cacao is at 4:30. Okay, I didn't write it down. 4:30, and then the new moon gong meditation is at 6:30. I already mentioned about the affirmative prayer class coming up, and just as a reminder, it starts October 26th, 9 to 10 a.m. in the upstairs room, and the sign up is in the community room. If you want to get added to the email list, there are little sheets of paper as you came in where you can put your email down and your contact information, and even be requested to be contacted or put in a prayer request. And those sheets can go in the prayer box that is just under that painting. And stay tuned for more on all of that. Are there any other announcements that I either forgot or didn't know about? Okay. Let's read our statement of faith. It will be up on the screen and we can say it all together. There is only one power active in my life and in the universe, the divine source of all life and love. Next, we do the affirmation. And as we say this together, if you could really allow yourself to feel the oneness that connects us all. Unity of Des Moines is a radiating center of the divine light, mighty to attract its good and to radiate good to others. And with that spirit of oneness and goodness, I have a list of names to keep in our prayers this week. Alexander, Brittany, Seal, Deja, Dawn, Deb and family, Denny, DJ, Christina, Marilee, Sarah and family, Celine, Scott, and people with struggles we know nothing about. And as we move into our time of meditation, you can place your feet on the floor and sink into the chair, letting it hold you, letting it support you as you allow your body to relax. And bring your awareness to your breath, following it in and out of the body. Another breath, deeply breathing in peace and calm and relaxation. And letting go of anything no longer serving you on that out breath. And as we tune into our community gathering this morning in our meditative practice, notice where you're at in your heart and soul at this very moment. Are you present in this moment? Here, fully supported by loving community members around you. And what does your soul want and need today? Is it content where it's at? Is it wanting to look? Is it wanting to journey? Let's take some time in our meditation today Just let our soul guide us, helping us with that next step on our path. Sometimes it's really uncomfortable to take an uncertain step. Don't know what the ground is like next, or it could even be into a body of water and going on a river journey. But to do that, we need faith. And so we step out in faith, listening for our inner guidance, being willing to let go of the safe and known, and step into that unknown, knowing that all is provided for you, and that source has our back. So as we move into the silence, just listen and notice what comes up for you without any judgment. And allow yourself to receive that intuitive guidance in the silence now. And as you gently come back, you may notice that we cannot control the silence. Are you able to go with the flow of whatever happens during that time, even if we plan it to be silent? There's where that step in faith and knowing that all is unfolding perfectly in divine timing for our lives, for our soul's growth. And we allow that. We walk in that and receive it. So gently come back fully present to this beautiful space that we are blessed to gather in each Sunday morning. Taking another nice deep breath. This time, give yourself some unconditional love. And breathe out some gratitude. Feeling balanced, aligned, centered, and grounded. Relaxed, refreshed, restored, renewed, and rejuvenated. We are ready to continue with our service. Thank you, Beth. The daily word for today is taken from James chapter 3, verse 18, which says, "And a harvest of righteousness is sown in peace for those who make peace." The word shalom is synonymous with the word peace, but it means more than an absence of war and conflict. Shalom, appearing so frequently in the Bible, is also used to affirm wholeness and well-being. True lasting well-being requires the kind of peace known by living in alignment with God. Anchored in peace, people are less likely to be in conflict and more likely to appreciate that the beautiful planet Earth offers goodness and abundance for all. When I pray for a peaceful world, I pray shalom for myself and for each person of every land to have their needs met, to know lasting well-being for themselves and their families, to live in harmony, and to work toward our common good. The affirmation that goes along with this, I'll say it once, and then if we can all say it together, is this: I bless the world with thoughts of peace. I bless the world with thoughts of peace. And now, speaking of peace and heart, Deb is going to talk us through our second song. All right, today we are going to sing a mantra for our second song. And this one is known as the Heart Sutra from the Buddhist tradition. The words you see there are pronounced gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisvaha. And I'll go over that again with you in just a minute. But what that means is gone, gone, gone beyond, gone utterly beyond, complete awakening, so be it. It represents the profound wisdom of emptiness and is a journey from the unenlightened shore of suffering to the other shore of complete liberation. And through the understanding that all phenomena, including the self, are empty of inherent existence. The mantra serves as a powerful reminder to cultivate deep wisdom and compassion, thereby overcoming fear and attaining enlightenment. Gate, which means gone, is to move forward, progressing beyond our current limitations. Another step of gate, further step forward in understanding. Paragate, gone beyond, transcending the dualistic way of thinking and the suffering that it creates. Parasamgate, gone utterly beyond, completing the journey, moving entirely to the other shore of ultimate liberation. And bodhisattva is complete awakening. So I hope that helps you understand what we're going to be chanting. Do you want to repeat the words after me once? Gate, gate, Tavagate, Parasamgate, bodhisattva. And Susan and I are going to help lead this, and it's a very simple chant, and we even have a little bell sound for it. Thank you. And if you ever want to, on the full moon, there's a time, and you can sing more chants like that with a group of people. It is now my pleasure to welcome our beloved Michael Kolbeck, who is going to be speaking about the journey into the unknown. Please give a round of applause to Michael.
Thank you. All right. So I want to point out this morning that those songs are great because they'll talk about letting go, stepping into the beyond. I think Stevie earlier said something in part of our celebration when she was mentioning the Unity Fair about trusting the nudge that you might have. So that's pretty much everything we're going to be talking about today. Yeah. So I'm about to step out of the boat and embark on a journey in my own life, a journey into the unknown, heading to and into the uncharted land. I'm going to leave behind all that's familiar, all of its routine, some of the people, the schedule, along with some of the chaos. Looking forward to that part. Moving from the known and familiar to that which is not. So some of you know that I worked in the IT area for a long time. And the ironic thing about it is it's a desk job, right? So since my mid-20s, I've basically been doing this kind of work. I'm 54 now. That's a long time. And you kind of blink and there it goes. The ironic thing about it is I swore I would never do this kind of work. I saw my dad do it. He worked for years and years in the IT area as well. And all I remember back in my late teens was, well, what do you want to do, Michael? Well, whatever it is, it ain't gonna be that.
Yeah.
Sitting at a desk all day at a computer just like felt like some sort of slow death to me. The ironic thing is, I've done it for 30 years now.
Wow.
So the interesting thing about it is I got into it because I had already gone some other avenues. Some people have heard me speak before now. I went to community college, went to regular college, went to Bible college. I figured I'm gonna try it all. Right? Went interviewed for youth ministries and different things, and I ended up basically working an office job, and eventually ended up in the IT area. And I ended up in the IT area because I was looking at stuff in my current life at that time and saying, this particular job I'm in, there's no pathway forward. There's nowhere to go except for management. And I already knew back then, it's like, I'm not managing anybody ever. Don't have any interest in that at all. And so I looked at these job descriptions and was like, wow, whatever this is, whatever this business analyst stuff is, it looks really great. It was just coming out at the time, something new that was in the industry at that time. And it resonated with me for whatever reason. And I did it all the first number of years that I did it. It was great because I got to do training. I got to take a lot of training. I got to give a lot of training. I got to learn a lot of things, interact. The industry's just changed a ton over the years. And it's not so much like that. A lot of the things that I used to love about it don't exist anymore. And, when you've done something for 25, 30 years, that's to be expected, depending on what you're in. Even back then, no matter how much I desired to do something different, it never felt quite right. Back then, I was raising a family, taking care of all of the things. And there was this part of me that wanted to do something different because at the end of the day, even though there were very fulfilling parts of my job, there were parts of it where, okay, yeah, great, we're creating these applications, these interfaces, these databases, whatever they are. Don't care. At the end of the day, I didn't care. It didn't have any benefit to me, any meaningful aspect to me beyond providing what I needed to provide for my family. So that was a key thing, but I decided to still take some steps into the unknown at that time. I worked with a full-time person for a long, long time. And just at a specific company, And then I decided, well, okay, it's not time for me to drop everything and move into something else completely. But I've seen other people in this industry who are contractors. I wonder what contract work is like. And eventually I moved into being a contractor. And that gave me more flexibility, things that resonated a little bit more with me. It allowed me to move around more and experience different things as well. And so I decided at that time, that's what I would do. In recent months, it's probably been a little bit longer than that. I felt that calling again. I've heard that still small voice kind of speaking to me in the core of my being, going like, how long are you going to keep doing this? Right? I've always said, there's no way that a number of years ago, I said, if I'm doing this 5 or 10 years from now, I've taken a wrong turn somewhere. I didn't get off at the exit.
Oh.
Right? That same type of thing has been coming up lately. My age has been playing into it a little bit more. Going, hey, dude, you're 54, man. It's not like you're 34 anymore. And you're like, I got time. I'll get to it whenever I want to get to it, And as I mentioned, this boat that I've been in, I'll use the boat as a kind of an analogy for my career here. It's provided everything I needed. I can't complain about it, right? It's helped me build new skills, learn a lot of things, hone a lot of things in my own life. And it's carried me further than what I ever thought it would. But when it comes to the real calling of my soul, it can't really carry me any further. So as I sit in this boat and see the uncharted lands over the horizon, I found myself wondering, maybe I should just stay in the boat. It's not that bad. It provided a lot of good things for me. And for a few months now, it seems like I've been circling the boat, kind of going, oh, there's that land. I want to go to that land so bad. There's awesome things to be discovered there, to explore it. But I'm also like, let's just circle one more time.
Yeah.
I'll just circle the boat a little bit, get a little bit more time for me to feel into it, And it's as if part of me is saying, but why don't you circle it again? It's like right there. All you got to do is be like, I'm done. I'm done. And it's right there. All those other things that you desire.
Amen.
Right. And while at the same time, there's part of me going like, oh, crap, where did that land come from exactly? Because even though that's what I've been desiring, I didn't expect it to show up right now. So we have these two parts of self that are sitting there having a conversation with one another. And as I circled the boat, I decided to get a little bit curious, right? Anytime we have some struggle in our life, that's what I encourage you to do, is to get curious and start playing with it a little bit, just like a kid does with things. As I got curious, I tuned in, and it felt like part of me was saying, look, you're free to do whatever you want, right? Nobody's going to force you to do anything, but let's play a game for a moment. What does it feel like for Michael 3 years from now if you're doing the same thing? And I could feel this like, oh, just internal, like, I won't use the words in here, but no, that's a hard day. All right, so what does it feel like if you're still doing this a year from now? And what I felt in that as well was I felt, okay, yeah, I could do it another year, but I could also feel this like energetic drain that is like, if I stay in this and do this another year, it's going to take me so long to just recover back to baseline, because it just feels like a drain every day now. What does it feel like if you were to renew your contract at the end of the year and continue doing this in 2026? And then let's bring it even closer. What does it feel like if you're still working here, still circling the boat on your 55th birthday on October 19th? And that was kind of like the mark in the sand for me, right? The line in the sand. It was like all the other things are too far out. Even if I'm sitting in there as I cross over that threshold and go into my 55th year, where I'll actually be a senior, and yes, I'm taking the discounts. That was the line in the sand that I found. Like, okay, all these other things feel like they're out of integrity. If I stay past or even on my birthday, it feels like stay too long. It took too much time. And so I could tell that, all right, there's my line. I need to exit. I need to find a way out before that time. We've all wrestled with these kinds of decisions, right? Part of us longs to stay in what is known, what is familiar, even if it is not in the best interest of ourselves, even if it's not healthy for us, even if the environment is not safe, even if it's highly dysfunctional. But the reason we do it is because it's familiar, it's known, It may be chaotic, it may be dysfunctional, it may be whatever. But the fact is, you know that. You know how to operate in that environment. And so sometimes we just continue doing that. The other part is saying, yeah, but look, it's right there. Everything you want is right there. All you have to do is step out of the boat. It's curious when my kids come and they talk to me about some of the stresses that they have in life. All my kids are grown, they're all adults now. And when they're really stressed and when they're really upset about things, I try to reassure them, depending on what it is. I try to reassure them that, listen, at times, it may feel like you're being tossed around in the boat. At times, it's likely to feel like you've been thrown overboard, right? And you're treading water. And at times, it's going to feel like you've gone under. And it may be for a moment you've gone under. But what I always tell them is like, listen, just take a breath, right? Because no one is going to let you drown. It's that type of thing where, sure, life gets chaotic sometimes. Sometimes we don't know which way to go. Sometimes we don't know what to do. We can feel overwhelmed by everything. And yet I try to reassure them that life always finds a way. You'll always find a way. And especially if you have people and loved ones in your life and this and that, nobody's going to let you drown. We might let you go under for a minute, because sometimes that's what you need, right? But we'll always reach down into the water and be like, here, all you have to do is take my hand, right? In other words, it comes down to have faith, having faith, even in the midst of some chaos. Sometimes in life will make us move, whether it's the loss of a job or a relationship or a loved one. It generally comes about in some unexpected event. Sometimes we wait to move because we enjoy the familiar, even though the familiar is not a safe or healthy place for us. And we wait to move until the pain becomes too great. And at times we make the move consciously. We can see the writing on the wall. We know that it's time to exit the boat, whatever that boat is in your life. And we do that without needing life to capsize us a little bit and help us out of the boat. I've done both of these things in major ways. And interestingly, though, whether life comes and tips the boat over and kind of gives you a little bit of nudge, a little nudge there, or whether you consciously decide, I see this, I feel this, it's time to move. And you make the step yourself. Either way, it all leads to the same place. It all leads to the unknown. It all leads to a new part of the journey. And in the unknown is where you end up making a deeper relationship with yourself. You trust yourself more. You learn to trust life more. It's where things are unfamiliar. It's where transformation generally really happens. The boat in the water, the job, at least in my depiction at this point, it's been a saving grace. It allowed me, after my time off cancer, to float calmly upon the waters as my body tried to figure out, how am I supposed to work again? It allowed me to return to what I knew at a time when chemogram was still a real thing. And I was like, oh, what's that word? I know I knew that word. Where's that word at? And so it was a great thing in terms of having the year off for the cancer treatments and different things, but being able to step back into it. And it allowed me to pay off all the medical bills, to rebuild my foundation in a very practical sense. It kept me afloat, right? Amidst some unease and some rough seas. But here's the reality of everything. We're not supposed to stay in the same boat indefinitely. I look at people in my life sometimes and I think, oh my God, these people have been in the same boat for 50 years.
Yeah.
And I don't understand it. Sometimes I don't understand it. And I see things and I'm like, why don't they just get out of the boat? For God's sake, I'm down that boat in a circle and go like, here's your chance to get off of the dock. And they just keep staying in it. The boat is simply a bridge, right? The boat is meant to take you from some land, from some place that's known, to take you to another place. Sometimes the places that it takes you are known places. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it takes you to unknown places. But nobody really wants to live in a boat forever. But ironically, that's sometimes what they do, right? The same boat that kept us afloat and has provided what we need, it can sometimes become the very thing that is holding us back and keeping us stuck because it's comfortable. And sometimes the reality is that it's not that comfortable. We're just telling ourselves that it is. We're just making up all these stories and rationalizations. Just wait a little bit longer, just a little bit longer, right? And I know in my experience, life has kind of gone like, yeah, you've waited long enough, and it just comes by and just upheaves the entire boat. And you find yourself in the water. You can't get back into the boat because it's been completely demolished in the upheaval. And you're right then, you're like, okay, now what? Right? Those are the moments where you find yourself. As I thought about this and thought about wrestling with this question of, well, what do I want to do here? I kind of took I called it the Seinfeld approach. It's like, let's face it, I don't have to leave.
Yeah.
I make really good money. I know this job. I know how it works. I know how to play the game, all that good stuff, right? But I also know the calling on my soul was telling me it is time to exit the boat. It's not going to make me. I can stay in both if I want to longer. And yet at the same time, I'm like, well, why don't you just do the Seinfeld approach? Seinfeld, that the show, I think Jerry Seinfeld said that they decided to exit on top. They had the highest ratings, they had all the stuff, they all think they were at the peak. And instead of dragging it out, they just decided, we're good. Just exit the boat. And so they did. I've also been looking at kids and going, isn't it interesting? Because when a kid is playing and is enthralled with something, they're like totally into it. They're like in the sandbox, they're having a good time. And pretty much when that kid is done playing in the sandbox, they're done. Like they don't force themselves to sit there and keep playing in the sandbox.
Correct.
They get up and they go do something else. And I'm like, isn't that fascinating? Like as adults, we just like, we tend to like punish ourselves a little bit. Like, nope, you got all these practical things you got to take care of, so you need to stay right there and you need to do this, even though you're completely miserable. And I'm like, why don't we just take a lesson from these kids? The kid's like, I'm done. I don't like the sandbox anymore. I'm going to go over here and slide on the slide for a while.
Yes.
Right? And it hit me. It's like, do I enjoy playing in this sandbox anymore? No, I don't like it. It's like finding cat turds in the sandbox every day. I don't like it. And the thing is, you feel like sometimes when you have to have a better reason than that, right?
Right.
After all, you've got things to take care of, right? And I'm not trying to discount or discard any of that. That is a part of the reality. But at the same time, you have to be able to look at what is it costing you? What is your why behind making your decision? What are you feeling in your body every single day? Because let's face it, I like the people I work with. I still like some of the stuff I do, but I can't do the job the way I like to do it. Can't actually put my full 100% into it. And even if I do, it's like, okay, that's great. What about this over here? And it's like, you can't do all these things. Looks like there's just fires everywhere. And we're always attending the hottest fire. And it's very draining. And no matter how much you sit there and you say, okay, I'm gonna take some breaths, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna maintain my energy. We all know what that's like. You may have a really good energy signature. You may have maybe really good at maintaining your own energy spectrum, right? But when you're sitting in the midst of something that is chaotic for 8 hours a day or more, whatever it is, it's hard to maintain that. It takes its toll because you're one energy signature in a bigger energy signature, and that bigger energy signature is more dominant and more powerful generally. So you're constantly having to be in this kind of protected, regarded state, and that takes a lot of energy out of you. I noticed at the end of the day, I was just like, just drained now. Like the things I woke up with in the morning in my head, like, oh, I need to do this today. I'm going to do this. I have this great idea. Oh, shoot, I have to get on the call for a meeting here now. Well, okay, I'll get to it later. Okay, 3 hours later, after everything has gone sideways from the meeting, you're still chasing things from that. It's like, oh, I haven't eaten yet. Okay, take care of that. And before you know it, you're 8 hours at the end of the day, and you're like, that little thing that was such a vibrant spark at the beginning of the day, it's now like barely an ember or anything that's burning. And you're looking at it and you're like, ah, if I do that, I'm just forcing more out of myself right now. But at the moment, I just don't have time to give. I don't have the energy to give. I went through a list of questions for myself. Some things I just talked through here. Whatever your boat is, whatever your sandbox is, do you feel energized by that? I think that was the most important question that I came up with for myself in this. Does this energize me anymore? It used to, but does it energize me anymore? Or does it drain me? And it consistently drains me. It's okay to be drained every now and then. There are just days like that, right? But when it's day in and day out, and you're like, oh my gosh, and all you're thinking of is, I can't wait to get to Friday, and Sunday night, all you're thinking of is, oh my God, it's Monday morning again, right? It tells you something, it's telling you something, and that's when you have to tune in, that's when you have to listen a little bit deeper. The truth is, you're free to remain in whatever boat you choose for as long as you choose. However, as I have experienced in my own life, and I'm sure pretty much everybody here has, life does have a way of creating storms to capsize us at times. Because we do have that still small voice, right? A higher part of self that at times is calling us. It'll keep calling us. If we keep ignoring it, it'll get louder. If we keep ignoring it, it'll start knocking. If we keep ignoring it, it's kind of like, okay, maybe I'll just turn the boat over. Make you get out of the boat.
Yeah.
Time goes by so quickly. I said I would never do a job like this. And then before I knew it, some company was giving me a 10-year plaque for being there for 10 years. And I remember receiving that plaque going, first of all, it's a plaque. Are you serious? Not a check. Right. And the next thing I was like, how did 10 years go by? And then the next thing I knew, I was 20 years in, not at the same company, but 20 years in the industry doing the same thing. Then I had a year off to deal with the cancer stuff. And then I went back to this type of work. And suddenly, as I was putting this message together, as I was thinking about things, I was like, oh my gosh, it's been 5 years. I've been back working now for 5 years again. And the 5 years just kind of seems like it went by just like that. I'm not telling anybody to abandon ship because that can create some trauma of its own.
Yeah.
I looked at this thing because I could feel the calling, and the consistent calling, and I knew it was time. I looked at this thing like, okay, yeah, this makes me a little nervous, makes me a little anxious. So what am I going to do? Well, okay, let's look at what Michael needed in this to make himself feel a little bit more calm in all of this. And what feels comfortable for a timeline for Michael to be able to exit? What other things do I want to get taken care of in order to feel good about exiting? Right? I was working on an exit strategy. So I sat down and I just kind of thought about those things and wrote those things down. It's the same thing I did when I left a marital relationship. When I finally came to the realization of all of the stories and illusions I had created about what that relationship was, and it definitely was not any of those things, the stories I had created. It was that thing of, well, you can continue just, you now know what the reality is. You face what the reality is. You can continue to stay in, do this, and this is what you're going to get every day.
Yep.
Or you can leave.
Yeah.
But I first formed an exit strategy to do that. So that even though as scary as that was, talk about stepping into the unknown, even though as scary as that was, I could create an exit strategy and say, let's make it as easy and calm as I can for myself in this process. What's interesting is as we look up on that our uncharted land, that calling of our soul, that desire of our soul, we can look at that all we want. We can sit in that boat and decide, yeah, I want to get out, I want to do that. That's what I really want to do. We can decide that all day long, but unless we get out of the boat, nothing changes. We're just sitting there in the boat going around and around. We're having this little decision in our mind. I'm going to do that. And someday I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Then before you know it, you've gone around again. And you've gone around again, right? There's a saying that says, it's from the Bible, it says faith without works is dead. I never understood it until probably like a month ago. It's like, oh, the works is the action.
Yep.
I can have all the faith I want sitting here in the boat. Yeah, I'm gonna do that some days and that, But if I don't actually do it, if I don't actually take action, then my faith is kind of like meaningless. You really have faith? Because you don't have trust that if you step out of the boat, everything's gonna be okay. So I ask you today, where are you in your life right now? What is it that's your boat at this moment? If you like the sandbox analogy, use the sandbox. Whatever the thing is, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a habit, whether it's a belief, does that thing actually support you anymore? Does it benefit your life? In what ways? In what ways is it maybe costing you in your life? Are you simply sitting in the boat, just circling, going round and round, telling yourself you'll do it someday? Or what do you feel when you allow yourself to feel that calling of your soul? I know what I feel. I feel like super energized. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be so great. There's a part of me is still like, hey, look where you go, man. And this part of me has to say, that's okay, man. We're gonna be all right. Right? I told a friend a month or two ago that I believe I'm entering the best decade of my life that I've ever experienced thus far. I have no idea why I believe that, but that's the feeling that's there. Could I say that if if I knew for the next decade I was going to continue to do what I'm doing and stay in the boat, I would be like, oh my God, no, please don't check out down. At first, what's interesting to this is I was going to keep this change to myself. I like the motto, move in silence. And I think it's a very good motto. Sometimes when you're going to make a big decision, it's best to move in silence and do what you need to do. And don't let others have, if you don't tell anybody about it, nobody gets an opinion on it, right? You just move in silence, do your thing, and then they're like, oh, I didn't know you left your job or whatever it is, you know? Oh yeah, I did that like 6 months ago, you know? Oh, that's great, that's great. Sometimes if you tell people up front, it's not so great,
Right.
right? And as I thought about that, moving in silence, I had to address what is the why that's driving this, right? What is behind this thing? And what I found for myself was it was avoidance. It's like, oh, see, if I don't tell anybody that I'm going to leave my job,
Yeah.
then I don't have to deal with them giving me feedback maybe I don't want to hear.
You're committed now, Michael.
And I'm committed as
I'll
well.
keep pushing you.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I noticed this avoidance pattern that was there. And I thought, yeah, but people know that my time is free because I'm not just going to leave this job and jump into another one. It's like, I'm going to take a little sabbatical. I don't know what I'm going to do. But what I realized with all of this was I had worked 30 years, and in 30 years, I took off the most time I've ever taken off, besides like a week-long vacation that you do with your family or something at the holidays, was a 6-week time when I was 29 years old and was going through my first divorce, and I went into a major depressive episode, so I was on short-term disability for 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's not fun. That doesn't count.
That doesn't count. And the next time I had an extended period of time off of that 1 year that I took off for, oh, I have cancer. I'm going through all the same things for cancer, you know. And I thought, that's ridiculous. 30 years.
Yeah.
And the only 2 times I've been able to take off have been to address major health issues and major things that are going on. And the sad reality is that's true for most people. And so one of the things I want to encourage is just look at parts of your life where it's like, are you giving yourself enough? Are you allowing yourself enough in life? Because that is insanity for 30 years to be doing that and running on that same hamster wheel and going, I have never taken time off just to say, I'm just going to take time off. That's it. Or I'm going to take a month off. And if people don't like it, you want to write me up with HR, so be it. Have fun. Right? When I recognized the avoidance pattern that was there, that was driving my need to move in silence, I started little by little just telling people, guess what? I think I'm going to do this. I don't know the date yet. I'm going to do this. And then little by little, I'm like, oh, guess what? I have to do it now. Right? This is a very, very new thing for me. It'll probably been only the past week or so. So with that, I just want to leave you today with a thought. What is calling you?
Yeah.
Maybe it's perfectly acceptable to stay where you are. Maybe you're loving all the aspects of your life right now. And that's great. But maybe there's an aspect or a place in your life where I'm like, well, I've been circling in this boat for a long time now. I'm not enjoying this anymore. But I see that over there, whatever that thing is, it's like, oh, that feels like life. That makes me feel alive. That's what I want to do. However that plays out in your life, I want to encourage you to just take some time to sit with that. And walk yourself through, what does that mean to you? Go through all the questions that you have to dive into. And give yourself permission to say, all permission granted. I don't need permission from anybody else to make a decision in my life, to follow the desires of my heart and life. I get to choose in every moment what aligns with me. And I get to trust that God, the universe, source, life itself will provide everything I need.
Yay.
Woo!
Thank you, Michael. If you would like to share your resources with Unity Center of Des Moines, now is your opportunity to do so. If you are like me and rarely carry any cash, we can also accept donations via Venmo or Zelle. There's a little QR code in the basket. You can also get the information on our website, unitydesmoines.com. But regardless of your contributions, we want to offer the following affirmation. I am infinitely abundant. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I thankfully acknowledge the divine source. While the offertory is being collected today for our special music, I'm going to take you on a short gong journey. The gong masters that I've studied with and around the world that teach gong say that it takes 30 seconds to 2 minutes to get out of our thinking brain and into our hearts and souls when we listen. So I'm just going to give you the simple instruction of listening to the sounds the gong makes and follow that and ask yourself, what does my heart and soul desire today at this moment? Taking whatever guidance you may have received, vowing to take more time with that at any point, to explore it more deeply. Just gently begin to take some nice deep breaths to bring yourself back, to ground yourself, to feel gratitude. And have faith. Thank you, Deb.
And as a reminder, there's more gong playing that will be happening at 4 p.m. later today. I'd like to bless the offering, Unity Center of Des Moines. And I completely went blank. We're grateful to do the work of spirit and truth through the people of Unity Center of Des Moines, and we are grateful. Thank you very much. And now Doug will lead us through the universal greeting of peace from the Gandhi Foundation. I invite everyone to stand up and follow along as she guides us through the words and the hand motions. Just repeat them back to me. I offer you peace.
I offer you peace.
I offer you love.
I offer you love.
I offer you friendship.
I offer you friendship.
See your beauty.
I see your beauty.
I hear your needs.
I hear your needs.
I feel your feelings.
I feel your feelings.
My wisdom flows from the higher source.
My wisdom flows from a higher source,
I salute that source in you.
and I salute that source in you.
Let us work together for unity and love.
Let us work together for unity and love.
Thank you, Deb. And now I'd invite everyone to make a great big circle around the room as we sing our closing song. We usually hold hands, but if you don't want to hold hands, that's okay. You can just put your hands over your heart. Afterwards, you'll see there's a beautiful spread in the community room with snacks. So, and then the intro to community class starts at noon. We're on the way here. And also as a reminder, there are sign-up sheets in the community room, so thank you. Yay! The light of the divine surrounds us. The love of the divine enfolds us. The power of the divine protects us. The presence of the divine watches over us. Wherever we are, the divine is, and all is well. Thank you, everyone. All I can do some help making, setting up the chairs for the meditation. 2 rows of 6 on each side in the back, and this one table needs to be pushed back too. Enjoy, have snacks, and hope to see you next week. Thank you, everyone. See you.